Welcome, Karoline, to Son of a Pigeon podcast.
Thank you. Happy being here.
You have crazy energy, I must say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're really crazy in a good way. You're like a sunshine crazy.
Oh, well, that's really nice. Thank you.
Yes, and we already spoke earlier that you really love Portugal and you
Yes.
spend there a lot of time.
Yes.
And I think this is where you bring the sunshine to Germany. It's not so sunny today. A little bit, but in general, it's not so sunny in Germany.
No, it's not. Like today, you see a bit of light and it's already good for Berlin. So
Yes, it's amazing for Berlin.
It's
And it's not so cold as well today, so it's nice. We like it. And there we go with generic weather stuff.
yeah.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I mean, it's the weekend and I'm happy talking about music today. Also, like just getting to know each other better.
Yeah.
And it's always a pleasure talking about music and getting inspired by the other person and jamming around, especially because you got your guitar, which is new to me because normally like I'm a pianist. But I'm actually really looking forward doing my songs with the guitar. It's cool.
Yes, we never played before the songs. And also two of the songs I never heard before. I don't know if we're going to do all three of them. We will try at least. And then you will guys hear in the end what was the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you also released a song. It was last week or 2 weeks ago?
Last week.
Yeah, it's called People.
Yeah.
And you gave me a preview for the song even before it went out. You sent me the actual recording of it. It's, first of all, the music itself, really, really good job. The piano there, also the chords that you use, the way you play the piano. It's not something that you hear usually on the radio. It's a bit different.
Yeah, true.
And also the video clip is beautiful. I would like
Thank
if you
you.
would share a little bit from the song, what inspired you to write it.
Yeah.
The birth of the song.
It's funny because like it's one of the songs I wrote like over 10 years ago. Actually, like sometimes of course I write new songs, but sometimes I just feel inspired to remember songs I wrote like over 10 years ago. And I'm like, oh, actually I wrote that song. Like it just pops up during the day and I'm like, that was actually a good one. And that was the same with People. So I just remembered I wrote that in my early 20s. And I was like, hey, that's really cool. I want to make more out of that. So I asked my friend Maria, who's like a violinist, to play on that song. I asked my sound guy, how do you say, tone engineer, to do the drums and to do the bass and just to mix it. And voila, we had the song. And yeah, in the song, it's very simple actually. It's about love. It's just a love song. It's about how rare like true love is and how people often waste it. And I see this often around me and I felt inspired writing about that. Yeah.
What do you mean wasting it? Wasting the love?
Yeah, like giving up soon. Like nowadays we have the society of like you start, you change, you start, you change. Like everything is like so fluid, which is good in a sense. But I think if you find a person and you have like something real between you and the other person, it's worth like working on it. I think love is always also bound to putting effort into it. And so yeah, this is what the song is about.
Cool. And you wrote it 10 years ago, so you already knew those stuff 10 years ago.
Jesus, yeah.
It's good realization to have in life, not to give up on people when it becomes difficult.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's funny because actually also now today, I hope we can make that song. It's a song I wrote in my teenage years. Like I think when I was 12 or 13, it's one of my first
Which
songs. It's called Habits.
Habits.
Yeah, and I would like to do that because I chose that song because I think it's the most easy to play it on guitar because the chords are not too crazy. And that song is like about finding your first way of like dating and kissing someone and like these teenage feelings of like, oh, what should I do? And but at that time, I mean, when you're a teenager, it's so real, right?
Yeah.
It feels so real and so dramatic, and it's also
Yeah.
exciting. And I had the need to write something down when I was like 12 or 13. So
Wow. In English, you wrote it.
Yes.
Wow, this is really impressive in this age. Did you change stuff in the songs before? Uh, the way they are now, are they the same they were 10 years ago, or did you change some stuff?
They are the same they were 10 years ago, though yesterday I asked my boyfriend, whose mother tongue is English, to just have a quick check if everything's fine. And he just changed one word. That's it. So.
Yeah, but sometimes those corrections, they can take away from the meaning of the song, you know?
Could.
I noticed about myself, when I write songs, sometimes my English is not perfect. And sometimes this is what I need, because this is what makes it unique. The people know what I mean. It's not correct English by the books, but the way I write it, there is a different meaning. But if I will make it correct, then it might lose of the meaning.
Yes.
And I also noticed a lot of artists are doing it, even though their English is their mother tongue. And they also write in a way that they manipulate the words so they can have a more impact of what they want to give, feeling-wise.
Yes. I also think you don't have to always correct it. Like I'm completely with you, like in the sense that just make it the way it sounds or feels correct for you.
Yeah.
And that's fine. People will understand you.
Yeah, sometimes it's just the vowels that you choose, right?
Yeah.
And if you choose a different vowel, or the vowel is in a different placement in the text, it doesn't feel right. Yeah, it's so interesting. There is this guy, Max Martin, the producer. Do you know this dude?
No.
He's like the guy who wrote "Hit Me Baby One More Time" and
okay.
like a lot of the pop hits. Even today, he wrote a lot of hits. He wrote "It's Gonna Be May" by NSYNC. You know the song? Every little thing I do. So he was very specific by telling them, say it's gonna be May, not it's gonna be me. He was very specific.
I get it.
He really was on that. And he doesn't know English as an English native speaker because he's a Swedish guy. And he used to talk about it, that when he listened to the songs, he didn't know what the words are saying because he don't know English, but he know what it feels like.
Yeah.
And this is what he tries to do even today.
Cool.
It's so cool. And also me as a kid, you know, I was growing up in Israel, and sometimes I would make up words because I didn't knew what they were saying, and I would try to make them up, kind of making sense in Hebrew. I think you also did it probably in German.
Yeah, definitely.
And you also notice that you have something like this when you write the songs themselves, you pay more attention to what it sounds like more than if it's correct or not.
Yeah, completely. Like sometimes I just have a specific sound in my ear, like how it should sound like. And then I just try to put the words into it. So it's a different approach. Like sometimes you have this approach of I want to say something. Like I really want to say something. So I write it down exactly what I want to say. And then I write a melody for that. Or sometimes it's the other way around. You have like a melody or something it should sound like. And then you try to find the words to fill it. So... Yeah.
What kind of melodies do you have? You have the pure melody or you have vowels melody?
Both. Like sometimes I am at the piano and I play and I know, it's a really cool melody. I should write a song to this. And then I'm like, I already know like, or something like I know how the line should be, but I don't know the words. So I have to just, find the words.
It's interesting when you find the song. It's like you need to go and find it.
Yes.
If we're lucky, it just comes to us really fast. And then we just, all right, let's do it quick before I forget it.
True, huh? Yeah.
How is your process usually with songs?
It's like either one or the other. Like either I really want to say something, like actually it's more I tend to write sad songs. Like 90% of my songs are like sad songs or angry songs or empowering songs. Like there's always drama in my songs. So there's always a reason why, like things happening in my life or things I think about. So I normally just write it down. Then I go to the piano. Then I try to put a melody on it. And sometimes, as I said, it's the other way around. I'm just at the piano playing around, having a nice melody. And then I think, what could I write to this? How do you do this?
Pretty much like you.
Yeah?
Yes. I also try to put a lot of thought. So I keep on listening again and again and again. But for me, I see it as the whole thing. I see it also the way I produce it. So what kind of instruments I want to have there. And also the way I mix it. Because I think the mixing, it gives a lot of focus to different parts or take away from different parts if they're not needed. So I see it as the whole picture, and it's more like sometimes it's more like experimental stuff, and I see what comes out. But I have the core thought and the core emotion that I want to convey in the song.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of the basic guidelines, but then either I have some already, I know what it sounds like in my head, and I just need to find how I put it out to reality, or maybe I just experiment and then I see what comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of both of this stuff, but I always meditate on the songs. Uh, it can be one line that I'm not satisfied, and I can think about it for months until I find the right thing to make it happen, and then I'm
Yeah.
satisfied. And it's something I cannot really explain because it's not tangible. It's just the way it feels. That's what it is.
Yeah, completely.
Sometimes it just doesn't feel right. It's like when a picture is not straight, then it feels a bit odd. So the same I have it sometimes with music.
Yeah.
But it's more like if I compare it, what I have right now to what I want to have, and then if it matches. So
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
And how long do you take normally for a song? Like, is there like an average time you would say, like in 1 week or 1 day, in 1 month? Like,
Well, it's really complex answer. Sometimes the songs come fast as they progress. They can take a while. It really, really depends. Sometimes the progress really quick. Sometimes the production, and to make it a bit bigger and more full, it takes really, really fast. Sometimes I'm stuck. Sometimes I like to ask help from other people, other producers or other players, because sometimes when someone else comes with their own energy, then they create something completely different.
yeah.
And I love this about collaborating with people, especially with musicians.
Yes, true.
And
True.
yeah, sometimes the writing itself takes a little bit longer. Sometimes I have just a verse and I'm stuck with it for a year until I get something else.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really varied. I have a lot of half songs written somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I also
Yeah.
have many half songs.
Do you write a lot?
Also, like in phases, I would say. There are phases I'm very productive. There are phases I'm concentrated on other things, but there's always something coming up.
Yeah, I can also resonate on this one.
Mm.
Lately, I'm not so creative lately, because lately it's more like executing the creative thoughts that I already had,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I don't have so much place for creativity in music.
Yes, you need to have the space for it.
Yeah,
Like if you're full with other things and your how do you say, your daily, like your normal day is so packed with other things, there's no space to be creative, right?
true. And I also feel like I'm a pregnant woman who needs to give birth. I have an album that I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
It's 8 songs. Most of them are finished. I just need to finish the vocals.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot find the time where I can just say goodbye to everything for a week or maybe a month and finish it.
Yeah.
So it goes slowly. The project still get nourished.
Yeah.
I'm not forgetting it, but I feel like it's heavy and I need to let it out, and then I will have space probably for other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this is the way it is.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need to take the time. Like if it's important for you, there's always something you have to do, like work or friends or whatever. But if your project is important to you, sometimes you have to say, okay, on this day I focus only on music.
Yeah, for me it's a bit different. The last time I really put a lot of effort, it was in spring, not spring, in autumn. In September, I was 3 months in a very beautiful place in North Byron, and I was there for 3 months quietly,
Oh, nice.
almost no interruption, just in fucking mountains.
Oh,
and
that sounds
trees.
amazing.
Yeah, small village. You have this farmer market and delicious food.
Yeah.
And I was there. It was very, very, very productive time, but it was not enough. And somehow the world just got different plans sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's not forgotten, definitely. Yeah, I'm working on this project still now. We have a video clip that we shot 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I can show you later the
Yeah,
version
please.
that we have up to date.
Where did you shoot it?
When?
Where?
Where? In a different places. So one place, it was the apartment I was living 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
We changed everything. We made it look like a golden party. Everything was
Nice.
gold. My friends came, and every one of them just put a fucking suitcase full of golden clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So cool.
I did not believe my friends have so many golden clothes.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
golden stuff. Everything was golden. That was the whole theme.
Okay.
Also, the character of Son of a Pigeon, everything is golden. I have like a cape and everything.
Yeah.
And it was the concept of the video. Everything is golden. And we also found a
Nice.
shisha bar, which everything was golden in the shisha bar. And we
Oh,
went
no
there. We
way.
asked them if we can shoot a little bit. And
How
they said, yeah,
lucky.
if you order. And so, of course, we're going to order. So we had some shisha bar scenes, and they really liked us.
Nice.
They told us if you want to celebrate here the release party. Yeah, I forgot their name. I wish I could say their name right now, but it will be in the video clip.
Okay. Congrats. Cool.
Thank you. Yeah, you also have a very good video clip.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, it looks like you're in a philharmonic place completely by yourself.
Yeah.
Was that the case there?
I was in a theater in Portugal, close to the Spanish border, called a little city called Extremos. And I was just so lucky because the people of the theater let me film there for free.
Wow.
And not only that, the staff helped us the whole day with the filming.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
so kind. I was so grateful. And actually, the theater is really nice. It's also golden and red, like the typical like theater colors, nice ceiling, everything. And it's not that big, but the director managed to let it look as if it would be a big theater with this filming. And yeah, I was alone on the stage in this like opera singer way behind a big piano. And I was freezing the whole day shooting. Like outside it was okay, but inside it was so cold. You don't see it in the video, but I had goosebumps the whole time. And always when we stopped filming, I was putting on a pullover and just jumping around and jogging on stage just to keep myself warm.
This is what we don't see in the video.
It's what you don't see in the video.
So funny. When you told me it was in Portugal, I thought about the dress that you wore, which is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, it's Portugal. It makes sense. It's warm.
Yeah. It was in late autumn, so it was kind of cold and not heated inside. So I was freezing. Yeah.
You also told me you visit Portugal quite a lot.
I do.
What is your connection to Portugal?
My connection is that I study there. I did part of my master's there in cultural science. And I love the sun and the sea. It's as simple as that. I just love the sun and the sea. Like, it's both so much life quality for me. I have good friends there. And I can be remote normally and work from wherever. So I just try to be there as much as possible.
Yeah, it sounds pretty epic. I love Portugal.
You too?
Yes, I've been there in the summer. I've been in Boom Festival. You know this festival?
Yeah, I heard of it.
It's a huge festival. It was the most hot temperature I ever experienced in my life. It was 49.
Wow.
Yeah, it was insane.
Which month was that?
It was in the beginning of July.
Yeah, that can be freaking hot.
I think the second week of July it started. It was so hot that if you put something not in the shade, it will be completely burning. You cannot even touch it. If it was metal, fuck no.
Yes.
And then I realized also when they say it's 49 degrees, they mean 49 degrees in the shade. This is how they do that, how they measure it. And every time we see in the weather forecast about degrees, it's in the shade.
Yeah.
Wow. And then I'm thinking it was maybe 60 degree, even more in the sun.
It's becoming worse and worse, unfortunately, due to climate change. It's really also like the forest, how do you say, brand, like the fires.
The fires,
Yeah, it's becoming more and more. So it's really an issue, unfortunately.
Yeah. I wonder why climate change is happening. Either it's us humans just abusing the planet completely, or maybe just the earth is changing a little bit. Because it's also a living creature, the earth. You know? So the earth can have some periods when it wants to be cold.
Yeah.
And maybe if it tilts just a tiny bit, everything completely changes.
Yeah, true.
I think also if we move like 1 meter from the sun or something like that, everything is completely out of balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't really know about this stuff.
I studied geography. I could tell you, like, give you some lessons about that.
Yeah?
But maybe later.
Yeah, I was correct about my theory?
Jein. a bit yes, a bit no. But let's talk about that.
What do
After
you
the
think there
podcast.
is?
I mean, there's
warm up?
definitely like the human-made climate change, and also like the whole science of countries getting more tropical, which haven't been before, and how to say desertification, like there are more and more deserts
Mm.
and more weather extremes. Like this is all due to the climate change. But it's also true what you say, that like very small changes, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
have like a huge impact. So yeah, that's also true.
Yeah, I think also the way we are farming the food,
Mm-hmm.
this is something that really causes harm.
Yes.
And this is my connection to Portugal. I have a friend there who has a land that he bought maybe a year and a half ago, something like that. Really beautiful place.
Nice.
And the idea behind it is to create a permaculture kind of project.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and
They have some of that in Portugal.
There is a
so-
lot of it in
yeah,
Portugal.
Yeah.
And this is what really blows my mind. In the last 2 years, I think every second person that goes to Portugal got this permaculture idea.
Mm-hmm.
And every second person that I know just want to go to Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really interesting. How
Maybe
everyone
it's a
just go
sign for
there.
you to go there too.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I love this place. The only thing that I'm a bit scared in Portugal is the fact that they are not the richest country. So if you don't find a way how you can manage money there, then you cannot really live in high quality.
True.
So it takes a little bit, especially if you want to go somewhere which is not the main cities and you want to live somewhere in nature, you want to live where no humans have been before, then you have to take care of your finances somehow.
There are many like European digital nomads living.
Yeah, they have
living
good laws in
there.
Portugal with crypto stuff. They take
Yes.
no taxes about crypto, so you can do whatever you want there basically. And I know from the US, they had a period of time where if you come from the US, you have no income tax,
Mm-hmm.
which
True.
is amazing. Yeah,
Yes.
but now they stopped that. But anyway, my friend, he knows this guy in Canada. They call it Verge Permaculture.
Okay.
And they're making courses. And in the courses, they teach you how you can work 2 hours a day and you can provide food for 10 people, I think, maybe more, just for 2 hours a day.
Wow.
And they have livestock, they have trees, they have fruit, they have veggies, they have everything.
Nice.
And they just developed this kind of system. And if you use this system, also the earth is healing. So we have more bacteria in the ground, right? And
this
then
is so important, the bacteria in the
Yeah.
in the earth. Like we have such a lack of it,
yeah.
and it's actually not good. I mean, it's of course we don't want to have like cholera or some like bad diseases, but also like having like no nutrients in the ground is also not good.
Yeah, we have this really dry land. This is why things become desert, I think.
Yes.
This is the process because it cannot regenerate itself. And then the whole ecosystem is basically not functioning anymore.
Yeah.
So when you make a permaculture project and you actually make a land that supports the biodiversity and it supports the bacteria in the ground and everywhere, then I think the whole ecosystem can change.
Yes.
But I wonder how much is it really applicable in today's world?
These are huge questions. Like I remember, as I said, I was studying in Portugal, and we had like courses of environmental anthropology and all this crazy, really interesting stuff. And this is why I have so many friends who are like did internships in this permaculture in Portugal, and it's amazing. I think every step is good already. Like every step is good. It's also about the sign and what you do, but the world is so much bigger, and we have so much bigger problems to face. So I don't know. It's not an easy solution.
Yeah, we are more people as well than we
Yes,
were,
we're
and we
just
grow
too
up
many.
exponentially.
Which is too many.
And I think it's a lie. We cannot feed everybody. I think it's a huge lie. There is so much food that's been wasted and been thrown away and not been really
Food
used.
waste is a big problem.
Yeah,
It's a big problem.
it's a huge problem.
But this is something you can start on your own to change that. Everyone can.
How can you do it?
Just like the waste, the food waste that you have in your daily life. Like if you're not wasting food, if you buy only the food that you know that you're gonna use, for example, like this is something you can change in your mind and the way you consume.
It's also the supermarkets culture.
Yeah, supermarkets. That's sure. They have
They
another
are
policy.
evil.
They are evil.
In the place that I've been in North Byron, it's called Gemünden, the beautiful village, and there is a supermarket. It's called Tegut.
Mm-hmm.
You know this one?
No.
I think it's mostly in southern Germany and maybe in Switzerland. I think it's a Swiss franchise. And what I really loved about this one specifically that was there, every morning you can go there and everything that was about to be expired, they would sell it in 50% discount.
Ah, nice.
Yes, and also before weekends. And it was amazing. It was amazing because they really have
Cool.
good stuff.
Cool.
And it was sometimes just really to buy cheap. And you know you're going to get high quality food for half the price.
Well, that's a good thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
And I don't understand why not many supermarkets are doing that. Everyone will be happy.
yes.
And people will keep coming back to buy from you.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
But sometimes they just throw it away. And also they throw it away and they lock the garbage because sometimes people come to take from the garbage food.
Yeah.
And I know some people, good friends of mine, they used to do that. And it can be very good. Because actually
Yes, of
using the
course.
food, it's still good. There
It's
is no
still
reason to
good.
throw it.
I remember I was when I was living in France for 3 years. And in the beginning, I struggled so much with my money. So I remember there was 1 month I didn't have my income yet. I had all the like expenses for my apartment and the rent and so much that I was like zero. And I was like, shit, like what do I eat? And I have like, unfortunately, I have never been at that point anymore. But I went to the supermarkets and I told them, hey, this is my situation. Can you give me the food that you would normally throw away? And they were all so kind. And they gave me all this food and I felt like a queen. Like this month, like I had no money. The supermarkets gave me the food they would normally throw away. It was all good food, quality food. And I was like, yeah, it should be like that.
Isn't it interesting, huh?
Yeah.
There is so much food, and how can we say there is not enough?
Yeah,
Yeah, we need to manage ourselves better as humans.
totally.
Yeah. So you've been in a lot of places in Europe,
Yes, indeed.
and you also do music from a young age. Did you start also your journey in Europe or in the world in a young age?
I mean, I was raised in northern Germany at the northern coast.
On the islands.
And not on the islands, but close to the islands. They are all the like
But they're not
Borkum
tropical
and-
islands,
and
right?
not tropical. No, not
Is
at
it
all.
interesting, the islands in northern Germany?
No.
No.
It's the opposite. It's so calm and peaceful. I love it. So yeah, but I mean, I was always making music. We had a piano at our place. I was just starting playing piano. I didn't took lessons, but I was always like playing by ear.
What age did you start with music?
Oh, very young. I don't know exactly what age, but definitely like 6 or 7. I was listening to the radio and just went to the piano and tried to play the songs I heard on the radio. And yeah, as I just said, like when I was a teenager, I started to write my first songs, like really composing. And yeah, and then with 18, I left my home. I went studying geography and I started to give first concerts in bars. And that was really, really cool. That was a really cool time. Actually, through all my bachelor studies, I was giving many concerts. That was really cool. And afterwards, yeah, I started like moving a lot. So as I said, I lived in France for a long time. And also I've been to New Zealand for working there for a while. And then I've been to Portugal. And I follow the sun, I would say.
follow the
I
sun.
follow the sun as I should. Yes.
Yeah, the sun brings us energy. We love the sun.
Yes.
We follow it. Sometimes it doesn't follow us,
Yes.
especially in the northern place of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love the sun.
Yeah. What about your music journey? When did you start?
Also quite young. The first productions I ever made were in my head as I was listening to the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, so cool.
Yes, and I just started to produce stuff in my head. I just had the export file, the master. I didn't know how it came there. I didn't know what kind of instruments I had there, but I knew what it sounds like. Yeah, but the journey itself, it took a while. It started with me listening to heavy music, which really pumped me.
Like
into music.
heavy metal music? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Linkin Park
Oh, I love him.
really got me in the beginning. And
Yes.
Korn. Yeah, we talked about
Korn. We
Korn.
talked about Korn. Yeah, I love Korn.
Yeah, I really grew up on them. What album
Cool.
was it? Untouchables. That when I started to know them, this album came out, Untouchables.
Mm-hmm.
You know this one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's amazing album. Great
It's
sound, great production, really heavy music. Um, and I wanted always the drums. That was something I was drawn into the drums. But it's very difficult to convince your parents to buy you drums.
I imagine. Mm-hmm.
And there were no electronic drums, so they gave me a guitar. And they did not give me a teacher. I was a bit mad at my parents that they did not get me a guitar teacher, but I think
Yeah.
it was my biggest bliss because I had to figure it out myself
Yeah.
how to play it. And then guitar became my instrument. So I was just learning songs that I really liked. And slowly I was playing with people, I had some bands. And what I realized about my journey is that people really like what I do.
Yeah.
And it really surprised me.
Nice.
Because sometimes people present their art or the music and people don't react so good to that.
Sure.
Yeah,
course.
and it happens. And just for me to see that people really love my music, I had a band. We were
Yeah.
called Ganza. We were a really heavy band. People said we were a fusion between Pantera and Pearl Jam. Some of our concerts were really, really violent, which was really nice.
Okay.
A lot of distortions, a lot of volume. And people were really singing the songs. They knew everything. They knew the lyrics. They knew what part comes. And the band did not really continued. Somehow it broke up. And then I came to Germany. And then I also want to create music more with people. And then I realized that no one knows me here.
Mm.
And the people I got to play with, they were not the most hardworking musicians. So I realized, all right, I have to make everything myself. So then I start to dive deep into production and how can I really make the sound that I hear in my head as a reality. I also start to experiment with my voice and other instruments just to expand my range as much as I can.
Your range, like from creativity wise, or your voice range?
Also, both of them.
Both of it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If my voice is flexible and strong, then I can do whatever I want. So I have more creativity.
Yes, true.
Yeah. How is your journey with your voice?
My voice, I'm completely on the journey. So
it's never ending.
It's never ending. I would say it made a big jump like a year ago or something. Through a musician, which like my favorite singer. Her name is Haley Reinhardt. She has an enormous range in her voice. It's insane, and she's so good. And because I love her so much, I was trying to cover her, and it motivated me so much to try to get to her notes. Can I say it like that? And I was like, oh, it's possible. It's actually possible. And I looked up some YouTube videos on how to expand your range. And there's so many like good advices and training on how to get there. Like to imagine the note you wanna catch and then sing it. Or just doing like all this voice trainings. So you can do so much actually to improve your voice.
Yeah. What is the number one thing that improved your voice the most?
How do you say aufwärmen? Like just like
the warm up?
Warm up, yeah. The warm up helps a lot.
In general, or you have a specific exercise that you like?
There's like just some YouTube videos I can show you later, like some YouTube warm ups, but it's really helpful.
Yeah, there is one that I played a lot. It's called Jacob Music Academy.
Okay.
There is a pink background, and they're also on Spotify. And I was just warming up every day. I really had this period of time in summer and the year around it. It was just warming up every day, nice. At least 10 minutes. Because I thought if I'm looking at myself as an athlete and I train my voice like an athlete would train their muscles, then I would be good.
Exactly.
It's just a matter of time and practice, and the body gets used to it, and it gets stronger, and then I can reach more notes with more power and with more flexibility. So I was working on that, and I really grinded the shit out of it. You know, in the end of the year when Spotify give you a recap about what you heard.
Yeah.
So they were, I think, number 2nd, number 3, number 4. They were just there at the top 5. It's the warm up.
But it's helpful. So
it's very helpful.
It's very helpful.
And also realize there is an exercise that you take a straw and you put it into a bottle,
Mm-hmm.
and then you do like,
Mm-hmm.
or you can sing the song, the melody with that.
With that, I heard that. Yeah.
This is incredible. I think for me, this is my number one thing. If I really want to go and expand my range and my support and my flexibility, this is the number one exercise.
Yeah. Cool.
And also, if you practice on that really, really a lot of time that you get used to it, you can also sing when your mouth is making the bubbles. So you can kind of do like with your air, but you can also talk like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny, yeah.
And this is, I think, this is the most not basic stuff. Like I think this is singing. If you manage to do that, if you manage to say vowels without using your mouth muscles, then this is what music. This is what singing is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Those muscles, yeah.
That's so cool. I want to see that you're doing that. Yes.
I took it from Jessie J. You know the singer Jessie
Sure,
J?
I love her. Yes.
There is also a YouTube channel. It's called New York Vocal Academy, I think. And there is a dude there. It looks like Leonardo DiCaprio. It looks like really Leonardo DiCaprio. And every time someone writes it in the comments, it makes me laugh. I don't know why. But he's a really good teacher, and he teaches a lot.
Nice.
And they take singers and they do a breakdown of the singers, what makes them as good as they are.
Oh.
So either it can be their approach, or maybe they note something in their technique that makes them unique.
Yeah.
And one of them was a video about Jessie J. And I didn't really knew her until I saw this. And this is one of the things they noticed, that she knows how to do this. She knows how to
so
sing with her
cool.
mouth closed. And
She's amazing. Really, she's
incredible.
a very good singer. She was. I saw her performing "I Will Always Love You," like the cover of that song. She nailed it. She
Wow.
nailed it.
You need
Wow,
some
that's
balls
a
to do
hard
this
song.
have you seen the biography of Whitney Houston, the movie?
No, not yet.
It looks interesting.
Yes, definitely.
Are you into movies?
Yes, completely.
Do you have a different style, a specific style?
For movies,
Yeah.
I always laugh about that, but I really like zombie and action movies.
Zombies and action movies.
Yes.
Yeah, it goes with Korn and Linkin Park.
Yes, that's my thing. Like, forget about this romantic shit. I like the zombie movies.
I want the brain. Don't give me your heart unless I eat it.
Exactly.
But you're also vegan,
Yes.
so you eat only humans.
What shall I say to this?
Only vegan humans.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is really cool that you have heavy music in your portfolio.
Yeah.
Like not in your singing portfolio, but your inspiration portfolio.
Yeah.
How did it started? What was the first heavy song that you heard, and how did it make you feel?
Which heavy song? What do you mean with heavy song? Like which this song inspired me, or?
Oh, just a song that you got drawn into. For example, Korn. I don't know if they were the first heavy band that you heard.
Let me think. Yeah, Korn, Linkin Park, Metallica.
Metallica.
I really like them. Disturbed.
But do you remember the first time you heard this kind of music? Or was it always played around from your
was
family?
always played around. I remember. It's funny. I just talked about this morning. Do you know Muse?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember hearing the song "Newborn" on the radio on the way to the disco.
Great song.
Yeah. And I loved it. Like I really remember this moment just because I felt so drawn into this music. The song was just blew my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, when the riff hits and it gets distorted, especially if you watch the video, everything starts to rumble and to shake.
So cool.
A really strong moment.
Wow.
Yeah, they used to be really good music, but something happened to them and they became a bit lame. I don't know what happened to them.
I don't know. It's often the case. But
Sometimes, yeah. It's sad when it happens like this to artists. So it was always around you, music. From your family, they were always playing music around?
I mean, yes, I come from a very musical family in a sense. Like my mom is also a singer and she plays guitar. My sister is a singer, she plays guitar and also a bit of piano. I'm singing and playing piano. My father is not a musician himself, but he knows so much about music. Like he's like a living musical lexicon. Like he knows so much, and he's a huge fan of music. So as my brother, the same. So yeah, like musical family, I would say.
Yeah, this is really important. Also, my family, my dad is very musical.
Oh,
He used to
nice.
be a DJ when he was a teenager.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I remember as a kid, I was always picking around his vinyl collection and looking on the vinyl. There was just big artwork,
Yeah.
and I love it. And then one day, he wanted to throw all the vinyls because you can imagine you have now CDs. No one is hearing vinyls anymore. But somehow my mom told him, "Don't do that." And then I took over the vinyls, and now I have them. And I discovered crazy music through the vinyls.
Nice.
Yeah, my dad had a lot of vinyls as well that somehow he lost them on the way, like Black Sabbath and some Led Zeppelin. But my dad had good music. Yeah, he was the one who bought me the first Backstreet Boys album. Yeah.
So funny, Backstreet Boys. Yeah.
It's so funny, yeah. And they're, I don't know, they don't look like the band that can really make an impact. They're just a boy band. And if you like them, you're superficial. If you're a boy that likes them, you might be gay.
This is like the stereotypes, right?
In
This is what
Israel, at least, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
that's so
pop boy
bad
band.
because they are a good band.
Yeah.
Like they did good music. Yes, they did. Like good, like you remember their songs. It's pop music.
The guy who wrote their music, he's a metalhead. He's
Really?
a metalhead, yeah. He's from Sweden, yeah. This is dude, Max Martin.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, there is also the song Crazy by Britney Spears.
Oh, I love that song.
Is it You Drive Me Crazy?
Yes. I just can't sleep.
Yeah, so this one, if you listen to the bells, there is like those bells in the background. And if you listen to everybody, it's the same samples.
Oh, I have to listen to that.
Yeah.
Ah, funny.
Yeah, it's the same. It's absolutely the same. And I think it also exists in Into You of Ariana Grande. But I think he changed a little bit. It's been 20 years apart. I think it's only in the last chorus, or maybe in the second and the last chorus. Yeah, those bells, like agogo bells, I think.
There are bells in there. It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, production is crazy. If you know what people are putting in their productions that make it sound so big, you will not believe it. When you hear it as a whole piece, then all of a sudden it makes sense. But when you hear it individual, it's like, oh, there are bells there? Oh, and this, I never heard it.
Yeah, you don't hear it in the first place. But if you pay attention, then you realize.
How do you approach your productions of the songs?
I don't really do. It's more like a thing that just happens. Production just happens in a sense because I'm more like a one-woman show thing. So it's just me and the piano. And over time, just people joined. Like, as I said, my friend who plays the violin just joined because it just sounds good together and it's lots of fun. And then drums and bass also just joined by my studio guy. So yeah, it just happens to be like this. I never really planned it. So I would say like I'm completely open to new collaborations, trying out new instruments with my music. Just see what fits well. Yeah.
You give them the complete freedom to do whatever they want?
Jein, like sometimes, for example, when a person like does some drums and I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Like, let's do something else. Like, I'm always honest about it because at the end it's my music, so I have to be happy with that, right?
Yeah.
But
definitely.
so it's completely fine, I think, when you do collaborations, to be able to say no to something in a respectful way and to say, hey, we could do something else instead, so that both parts are happy with the result, I would say.
Do you come sometimes with idea what you think it can be, and then you tell them, I would like it to be like this and that?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. I always have like ideas how things should sound like. Yeah.
Cool. And what are your plans with your music?
My plans with my music?
Yes. Where do you see yourself doing music in 5 years? Or where you see yourself as an artist in 5 years?
Oh, good question. I mean, I'm already really grateful for where I stand right now. Like, it took me a lot of work to be where I am right now. Like, I have so many people who support me. Also, the state who supports me financially, which is really nice. So I got many grants and just, yeah, people supporting me. The more and more people like find my music, I'm able to show my music. And it's, for me, it's like, what I like the most is, I mean, I do the music mostly for myself. This is how I am. This is what I would like to express in this world. This is what I feel like I should do this. But when I find people who take like pleasure out of this, like they listen to my songs and they're like, hey, this, I really like this. I really see myself in this. I like listening to your songs. It's just so nice. So finding the audience, I think this is like the biggest step, like to find the people who are really into what you do. So if I would say, where am I in 5 years? Of course, I want to have like, in the best case, a big audience, the audience which really likes my music, like finding like the target group in a sense, and being more independent with my music, like having more money which I make out of my music. Yeah, I would say that. What about you?
I want to produce and work with the best artists in the world.
In the world?
Yes.
Starting in Berlin.
Starting in Berlin, there are many talented artists here.
There are many.
I think some of the best in the world are actually located in Berlin.
Yeah, might
Some
be. People
hidden
come here
gems.
for that, right? So
Yeah. There is a lot of shit you need to go through until you find the diamonds, but it's really worth it. But it's not as shitty as I would thought it will be, because usually in big cities where there is success in the big cities, you see a lot of garbage as well. It's part of it, you know.
it's true. But it's a bit like what you said in the beginning when we started our conversation. I also had these experiences that you go to a concert or like an open mic or whatever. And with all the respect for all the artists, I remember points where I was just thinking, I can do this better. And this shouldn't sound arrogant, but it's more like, because in this moment, it just means that you're envious in a sense or jealous. Like, why are they claiming the space and why am I not? So for me, it's always very motivating to say, hey, if they can do it, and I think very modesty, I can do this too, or even better, I should do that too. So I think it's completely fine to take this more as an example to push you forward.
Yeah. And for me, it's okay to say some of the music is garbage. I really don't mind saying that because this is true. If you really want to make good music, there is some effort into that.
It is, yeah.
And it's not an easy job.
It's not.
Sometimes people can be lucky if you have the right people around you that helps you with that.
Yeah.
But usually you don't just land on success just like that. You don't wake up in the
No.
morning and you become successful.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's
And
something
also,
that
and
takes a
also the
while.
word luck. Like when other people say that you're lucky, it means they don't see all the work you did before
Yeah.
to be able to have these opportunities or meeting people or networking. Like luck is more something you can create on your own.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
yeah.
But you can be lucky sometimes when you just stumble on good stuff because of
You can.
coincidence.
You can.
Yeah, this is for me to be lucky. When you see like Jimi Hendrix, he's not lucky. He worked his ass off to be where he is.
Yes.
Freddie Mercury, he's not lucky. He worked his ass off.
Yes.
All those really high talented people, they work their ass off. But sometimes there is someone who just stumble on it by accident.
Sure. That happens.
Yeah.
That happens.
And I think those people, they don't put as much as effort as it would be expected from them to put in the music. So it's kind of, it's halfway. It's like eating food without spices. I don't know how to give it analog to something else. But it's okay. It's okay to have garbage music.
Yeah.
There is also a lot of very good music. So this is the balance.
There's lots of good music. Yeah.
There are amazing artists here in Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a podcast with Matan Goldstein. I think I might actually publish the podcast after this one.
Okay.
And he worked with a lot of artists here in Berlin. One of them is Ella Fuchs.
Yeah.
That you heard the podcast with her and then we connected.
Yeah.
She is one of the most incredible artists, I think,
She's
in Berlin.
really good.
She got something so beautiful when she sings and when she expresses herself. And there are many other artists. And the more I do podcasts, the more I discover there are really talented people here.
Yeah. Yeah, so many.
How long have you been here in Berlin?
I mean, I come and go, right? So my boyfriend lives here, and Like I'm normally here for some months, then I'm leaving for some months to Portugal or to France, or like next week I go to the Alps to chill at my friend's place.
Why not?
Why not? Why
We're
not?
in the Alps. In which side?
In the French Alps.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it.
Do you speak French?
Huh?
Do you speak French?
Yeah, I speak French.
Fluently?
Yes.
Also Portuguese?
I wouldn't say fluently, but I got all the basics.
Oh.
So
you're also into languages?
Yes, I am into
Cool.
languages.
What else do you know with languages?
These are all the languages: English, French, German, and Portuguese.
So probably Spanish is easy for you.
I mean, I get a lot. I would say it like that because of the Portuguese, but
Italian as well?
I get some things.
Yeah, this is what's nice about it.
I mean, the roots are the same. The roots are the same. So yeah. I mean, I wouldn't understand Hebrew, of course.
No.
Completely different root.
Unless you say hummus and falafel.
Voila, yeah, I can't say more.
I think this is why there is a conflict in the Middle East, by the way, because the Israelis, we took the hummus from the Arabs there.
This is the main conflict.
Yeah, and the falafel. Imagine you would invent falafel and hummus, and I would say, no, it's mine. You would be mad the fuck at me. I would be mad at someone who would take my falafel and my hummus.
You make me hungry talking about this. Like, okay.
Yeah, maybe for next time we can have a hummus.
Honestly, like we were talking about Lisbon, there's a really good place if you ever go there, like an Israeli falafel hummus place. I give you the name. You should definitely go there next time you're in Lisbon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I know in Portugal they have amazing seafood.
They do have.
Do you eat fish?
No, I don't eat fish, but I know, like, because of all my friends who eat seafood there, that they have very good seafood. So yeah, it's famous for that.
Yeah. Also, the food there, generally, the quality is really nice in Portugal.
Yeah.
It's relatively cheap.
They have very good wine. Very good wine.
Oh, this wine can really fuck the brain up.
It can.
They have this Portuguese, the Porto wine, which it's a bit, it's sweet, not a bit, it's really sweet.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that because it's sweet.
Yeah, and then you drink and you don't notice, and you drink and you drink and you drink, and then you want to stand up.
That's not good.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, Portuguese people know how to party.
Yeah, true.
What was the most unique / weird experience that you had in Portugal? Or maybe a cultural difference?
Wow, I remember, like, I wanted to, there was a time I wanted to start working freelance from Portugal, so I wanted to have a social security number. And it doesn't work like in Germany where you make an appointment and you go somewhere and then everything is structured and after 1 hour you're out and you have your number. You go to a place, it opens about 8, sometimes earlier, sometimes later. You don't know. You go there, you stand in a line, and you just hope that someone takes care of you. And I remember there was a really long line and I was waiting, and just in front of me, the woman came and said, we don't give out social security numbers today anymore. And I was like, why? Like, it's 10 o'clock. Are you just saying you don't want to work anymore now? Or like, what is the issue? Like, what's going on? You're still open until 12. Like, are you just bored doing that, or don't you like me? Or I was just so confused. Really, and she was like, you just come back tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, but if I come back tomorrow, maybe it's the same situation. Like, you just say, oh, we just stopped doing this now. Like, what's happening? I got so confused. And then I asked my Portuguese friend what to do, and she said, you have to go there and you have to make it personal and make a scene. Like, you have to tell them, like, the poor girl from Germany, the job is starting next week. You really need that number. Just cry a little bit. And then they're going to talk to you. And that worked.
That worked.
So I was like, wow.
It sounds like Portugal. They have weird stuff sometimes there.
Yes.
I heard that if someone comes to fix your internet and he doesn't find parking, you just say, I'll come next week.
That sounds like Portugal, yes.
Yeah, the people there just closed the business. I go to siesta.
And that drives me nuts. Like, as a German person raised here, drives me nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy. But, they live their life in a very different phase.
Yes.
Everything is way more chilled.
Yes.
Especially in the villages. Then there is no time at all. There is nothing that stresses you.
No. And that's actually nice. And that's actually something I'm seeking for. Like, this calm and, like, being chilled about things and not stressing out about everything. Like, but yeah, I think it's like depends on how you got raised and what's normal for you. it's hard or not.
Yeah, yeah, it's very true.
Mm.
But also, it's very peaceful if you live in a place when there is no stress.
Yes.
I remember when I came from Israel to Germany, and then the stress level dropped down
It did.
a lot,
Yeah.
a lot.
Nice.
I don't know how even I lived and I thought it's normal because in Israel you always think there's gonna be a war sometime.
Yeah.
You don't really know what will happen. And maybe it's also because it's a warm place. But no, also Portugal is a warm place and it's quite chilled.
Yeah.
And also Spain, so it doesn't have to do
Yeah,
anything
but
with
I
the
mean,
climate.
Israel is a very very special place, right?
Yeah. Have you been there?
No, but as I said, I have many Israeli friends, and they all tell me about like the problems and like the good things, of course.
Yeah.
But also the problems you have.
Yeah,
so.
there are many problems there.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest problem is that people think there's gonna be a war every day. And it might actually happen because it does happen. So
Sure.
one day all of a sudden there are fucking rockets
That
on top of
sucks.
your head and you have the siren and you don't know what to do. And like this is really fucked up shit. How can you live a life when you know it's going to happen? And it's from
Yeah.
both sides, also the Israeli and also the Palestinian side. Like there is a lot of stress.
It's like permanent stress.
Yeah,
Yes.
permanent stress, definitely.
good.
It's like imagine that you start the car and instead of being on 0.7 RPM, it goes straight to 2. Like,
Yeah.
and then I
Yeah.
came to Germany and everyone just chilled. We can sit in the coffee.
Yeah.
We just can be in the streets. There is no war. There is nothing.
It's such a privilege because no one chooses to be at a place where there's a war, right? Or
Yeah.
where's like it's such a privilege, and you can never be sure that it stays like that. So yeah, I think I try to tell this myself just to be happy at the moment, and everything is kind of okay, even if it's not in Europe. Like even in Europe, we have war, and that's horrible.
Yeah,
and I
the
just
Ukraine
try,
war.
yeah. So.
Yeah.
It's not good, and it could be me, and it could be us, and it's yeah, just a privilege.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be a big war in Europe. Somehow, our generation did not really experience war, so we don't know what it's like. But on the
Yeah.
other hand, we always have the second war, the kind of like a shadow on top of our heads the whole
True.
time. So we kind of remember it, but not really remember it.
Yes.
We remember it through the tradition somehow of the people who
Yeah.
told us the stories.
Yeah.
But I heard somewhere that if we did not experience war, then there is highly chance that we will start a war.
You heard
Because
that?
we don't know what it's like. We don't really know the evil of war.
Yeah.
So we don't know the full consequences if we decide to do something like that.
Interesting. Actually, I heard the same thing about women rights because I was raised in a generation where I had all the rights as everyone else, but the generations before me fought for that
Yeah.
so much. Like it was only I think in '58 that in Germany women could work on their own without the allowance from the husband. Like it's nuts. That's not a
Yeah,
long
it was
time
like
ago.
this. You had to sign something official.
Yes.
Mm.
So just
Wow.
like you know what I mean. Like for me, it's so normal. For many women that I think we don't have this drive, or like I don't want to generalize, but if it's something which is really on the edge and you really have to really be careful, then you put much more effort into it to keep it that way. But I was just raised like that. For me, it's completely normal. Like everyone is the same. Everyone has the same rights. Like, yeah, just like I just thought of that when you talked about the war. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what will be. Everything is becoming more globalized.
Yeah.
So the chances of war becomes also less and less. But then we also have really powerful weapons as humanity.
Yes.
So there is this famous quote by Einstein. I know what was the first war, the second war, but after the third war, we're gonna go back to sticks.
I
And-
heard that.
and,
I heard
stones.
that. Yeah.
I
that's-
completely butchered it. Well, what he said, like the first will be no, they start with arches,
Yes. Then they have
with archery,
like,
and then they go with swords,
swords.
and then they go with guns, with missiles, and then after the fourth or the third war, we come back to stones
Yeah, might be.
or something like that. Or maybe us as humans, we will not be angry at each other anymore because somehow we can combine AI and all these crazy things that going on right now.
Yeah.
Are you updated about those subjects?
Oh, I'm kind of forced to because of my partner who is completely into this. So I learned a lot, the whole AI stuff, and yeah.
Do you think it can be helpful for musicians?
I think about this so often. Like, for example, nowadays you have an AI. You can just write down, write me a melancholic song in Alicia Keys style. And you got a song, like, completely
Audio
done
file.
already. Yeah.
Oh.
So, in a sense, I could take it as inspiration. Everyone could. Like, it could be inspirational, but it's also kind of taking away what I do artificially. So, of course, I don't like it. And it's also a bit of competition in a sense. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Some of them can be really good tools that we can use to
Yeah.
save time.
Yeah, exactly. It's to save time.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then I'm thinking, what if I take all of my songs and I put them into the AI machine, and then I tell them generate new songs based on what I already did. And in this way, I can be way more inspired to create new music. I might be bored, or maybe I don't have the spark anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But AI doesn't care. It's a machine. Whatever you put, this is what you get.
Yeah.
So it can be an interesting solution, but I think AI can be more useful, let's say, in mixing.
Mm-hmm.
So I know today there are a lot of plugins of AI, and they just hear the song, and they really help you to make the right choices of mixing, because mixing is a bit strange process.
It's complicated.
Yeah, especially if you have big projects and if you want to sound really professional. So you need to know what kind of frequencies are colliding with each other, what kind of frequencies are masking different frequencies. And you need to rely on your ear for that. And you need to rely on the room and on the speakers that you have. Sometimes it takes a long time until you develop this ear. Most of the times, I would even say. And it also can take a lot of time just to do those decisions and to surgically take some frequencies or to add.
Yeah.
But if you have AI that does it for you, it already knows what kind of frequencies are a bit too much and how much to tame them. So it's kind of doing automation to
It's very
itself the
helpful.
whole time.
It's very helpful. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that
Saving
can be
time.
really nice. Yeah, one of the things that I'm really liking, I don't know if it's AI, but it's completely automated. There is a plugin by Waves, and it's called Vocal Rider. So you have the fader usually in the console, right? And you can do it automation. So you just move it up and down, and depends on your performance. So I can make it louder or more quiet, so it can be more balanced.
Oh, nice.
And there is a plugin; it does it completely automatically.
Oh, wow.
You just bring him a range to the plugin, and that's it. And you can also sidechain it. I don't know if it makes any sense for you what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you can also sidechain it. So when the music is playing and the vocal is coming on top of it, then the music can duck down a little bit, maybe like 0.2 dB. And then there is always space for the vocals. It doesn't need to compete with any frequency. You just create space for it. Like, it's huge plugin. It's so simple, but it's huge.
Which program do you use?
I use Cubase to
me
record,
too.
but for mixing I use Pro Tools. It's really comfortable. I can do a lot of routing in Pro Tools.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, you do mixing yourself?
No, I don't do mixing myself, but just for the like simple things, I use Cubase, and that's already really helpful. Like for the whole social media stuff, that's completely helpful.
Yeah, Cubase is awesome. It's really light. I don't feel like it takes a lot of PC when I use it.
No, it's good.
Yeah, shall we take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
Let's do a break. And we are back after a break that we took. It's always funny when I'm thinking about the breaks, because we did take a break, but in the actual podcast, it will be a cut.
True. Yeah.
And there is no break.
But it's really needed to have a break.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was needed. We did some nice jamming session.
Yeah.
We practiced on the songs. So we know we can play something good. So it's good to stay to the end of the podcast. Almost stay at the concert.
Yeah.
You will have a concert in the end of the podcast.
Definitely. It will be really nice.
Yeah. So let's talk about the future.
Yeah.
We already talked a little bit about the future. And what are your future plans with the music? How do you plan to go out?
I mean, I just, like, this year is where I'm presenting my EP called Preto, which means black in Portuguese. So this is like the focus for this year. And I'm very excited on how that works. So this year is really like this EP is I'm very proud of it. I'm really happy about the songs. And I like already for the single People, which got released last week, I get so much like good feedback, and it's just amazing. Like I don't know how it's for you, but like when I see my YouTube video and just people writing comments on it and just tell me what they think, it's so amazing. Like it feels so good.
Yes.
People enjoying it, like giving me their thoughts of what images they have in their mind. It's just amazing. So I can't wait to release the other singles and see how people gonna react on that. And also for the whole EP, I will be in like some interviews, some radio, some podcasts, and so for the moment I'm very focused on this year and just see how it will work out with the EP. And then afterwards, let's see. I mean, I will always continue making music. I don't have like specific plans for the moment. I have to say that I really like the combo I have at the moment. With combo, I mean my composition, the violin, the drums, the bass. It's a really nice combo. I would also be very welcoming for a saxophone. That would be cool too. Or trumpets or something to make it a bit more jazzy. So yeah, let's see. Like I'm happy to do new collaborations, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, don't be afraid to reach Karoline in her Instagram and just tell her, hey, your music is cool. Let's do something new together.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, there are crazy people here, crazy players, and there are very creative people here in the city.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure there are some creative people who are listening right now and they want to contribute something.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, don't be afraid. The worst thing that can happen, it's not a fit. But at least you tried.
It's like dating. Like it's the same. Like
don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal. If it's not fitting, it's not fitting. But you have to try. You have to get out there, and maybe the fifth person or the sixth person is like the perfect fit, and then it's just like a match, and it's
and
like
it can be you,
it can be you, exactly.
Yeah, you never know with people, and sometimes you can meet a person and you can have the most significant relationship with this person.
Yeah, definitely.
Talking about Portugal, there is a Portuguese girl. Her name is Johanna. She's a violinist. And she's not really listening to the podcast. She's very busy. She's on her way to the US, and she was one of the first musicians that I took photos of, that we did a photo session. It was when I just started, and I had not really any idea what I'm doing. So I asked her, would you like to do some exchange? I take photos of you, and you can record violin.
Nice.
And since then, she opened up a lot of doors for me. She introduced me to Kenny O'Donohoe. She's one of the best trumpet players, I think, in the world.
Oh,
and
wow.
She was located here in Berlin. She's from Australia, and she was here recently. And then she really liked the photos, so she saw them and she asked me if I can do something with her. So we did also exchange, which I really, really like to do with other musicians. And she recorded the best trumpets I could ever imagine.
Wow.
Yeah, with solos, and she had like a full arrangement that she did, and it sounds incredible.
And that like makes such a difference, right? Like if you have like one like additional good instrument in your mix, it can change everything. It can make it from good to brilliant. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially the way she plays it. Also, Joanna, she plays some violins in my music, and it's just incredible. There is a different person that gives a different energy, and I'm very lucky because both of them are very sensitive, and both of them can match the vibe of the song to what they want to play, and they do it so beautifully.
Nice.
And it just sounds amazing. And yeah, like she opened up so many places for me, because afterwards, when Kelly came to do the photo shooting, then a lot of people know Kelly, and then they saw, oh, he's like good photos of Kelly, so maybe he can take good photos of me.
Nice.
Let's contact him. And then I met more people, and
this is how you do it and how you should do it, like meeting people and continue meeting people, networking. Like this is how the great things develop.
Exactly. Yeah, and with some people that I took photos, we have really tight connection. With some less, but it's worth it. It's really, really worth it just to connect with people, see
Yeah.
how we can serve them and what they have to offer for us, and how we can make a mixture of good stuff together.
Yeah, completely. Like as I said, my friend, the violinist from Portugal, Maria, like we are really good friends, and it just started out as just playing around, but now she's like a complete part of my music in a sense. I always ask her to play the violin for my music, and I'm so happy she's coming in the first week of March, because we're gonna make a music video together here in Berlin.
Cool.
So
To
cool.
what song?
It's the third song of my EP coming in April. And if we do the video in March, then it's ready for April, so that's perfect.
What is it called?
Won't You Stay?
Won't You Stay?
Won't You Stay? And yeah, I'm just so happy. Like I got some funding, so we can. I have cash to to get her here and to make a nice video. So
Bring the cocaine.
bring all the good stuff, and let's have a good time.
You got the funds from the municipality?
I got the funds, like it's called Pop-Stipendium.
Mm?
I think it's from Germany, like from the country. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, there were lots of funds here in Germany.
Yes.
Was it easy to apply?
I mean, applying is one part. I mean, you can, like, I always put a bit of effort in that, of course, to have a good application. But knowing that there are so many people applying, of course, you're not taking all the time. Like, I mean, I applied for maybe 20 grants already, and I got 5 in total, which is
5 grants
amazing.
is nice, yeah.
5 grants is amazing. This is my 5th grant. So that's really cool. And I'm so grateful Germany supports artists financially. But of course, you don't get every grant. Of course not. There are just too many people applying, or maybe the applications of the others are better. But it's fine. It's okay.
What tips can you give to someone who wants to apply for grants?
Yeah, to not give up when you get a no. Because it's so frustrating. You get a no, and you're like, there's another musician out there who gets that money. And you're like, why not me? So it's very important not to get frustrated, but to more think like, okay, it's fine. I work on my application. I try to make it better and more detailed and more concrete, and I just try to convince people more to support me. And it's just not taking it personal and just continuing. Like, it will be the second one, it will be the third one. You will succeed if you want to.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You can also take into consideration the people who are choosing who will get the grant, who will not get the grant. Most of the time, they get minimum wage or even underpaid.
Yes.
And they have to go through thousands of applications, and some of them are not best made. And you can have the most amazing music, but if you don't present it in a way that will be easy for them to write and understand what you want, then they will not make the effort, because they have pile of paper they need to take care of.
That's it. Actually, you have to put yourself into the position of the other person.
Yeah.
Like, you're the person reading through all the applications. You want to make it easy for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Make it digestible, make it easy, simple. Yeah. Especially the way it looks.
Yes.
You did everything by yourself, or did you have some help from people?
No, I did everything by myself.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling all of a sudden to have
It's
some
a
funds.
really good feeling. Like, it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. Like, I'm just so grateful. It's because this allows me to do what I want to do. Like, of course, I can always do music, but like producing really good audio files, like having just really good audio, that's like I have to pay for that. Like, I need to pay. Also, like, I need to pay the other musicians, because they deserve that too, you know. Like, so I want to do this, and if I want to have like a good video, which is nowadays, like, I would say even necessary sometimes, because like people listen to you, but if they have like something visual at the same time, it's just getting even better in a sense. Like, it's just. So if I have a good video, I'm just grateful to have the money to do that at the moment.
You're gonna use all the 5 grand for the video?
I mean, I already spent all the 4 grants before. So the 5th grant now, I do 2 music videos, and I'm gonna do some more records.
Nice.
Yeah.
In 1,000 euros?
It's a bit more.
It's a bit more. It's the whole grand. Okay. Yeah, you don't have to share the numbers if you don't feel comfy.
Yeah.
You also keep track of all the spans and you plan everything.
Yes, definitely. I mean, because in case they want to just check what I did,
Oh, but
it has
it's
to
a
be.
must thing in
Yes.
Germany.
Yeah.
I think maybe most of the grants, they really want to know before you even apply.
Yes, you have to like show them a project. You have to say, okay, I'm gonna spend 200 for that. I'm gonna spend 1,000 for that. I'm gonna spend blah 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 blah. And at the end, it has to be more or less that. Like it has to be a good calculation.
It needs to be exact from what I know. If it's even 1 cent a bit more or less, then
I mean, they don't
everything is
always
cancelled.
prove it, but you have to be ready in case they do prove it. So I try to be just hands down. I tell you exactly what I do.
Yeah,
And you don't want to mess with the, with the
Definitely.
German people.
yeah. The thing is, sometimes it's not so stable. The plans that we are making, sometimes
Sure.
they cannot really be executed how we want,
Exactly.
because this is music world and people are sometimes a bit flaky and they
I
go from
think
place to
they
another.
understand. I mean,
Yeah?
they if you work in music grants, you know how musicians work. It's not always like exact, or sometimes plans change. But if it's more or less the project you applied for, then it's okay, I guess.
Yeah, there is only one way to find out. and
There's
hopefully
only
we all
one way
get the
to
grants.
find out. Yes.
This is cool. So you actually plan everything that you're doing. You put the effort
Yes.
and the execution as well.
Yes.
And you aim for the big stages. You aim for festivals.
Not for the moment. I'm open for that, definitely. Actually, my plan since January, and I'm just so busy with other things, but I want to do some bars in Berlin, just playing with here and there. Actually, tomorrow I wanted to go. And then let's see. Of course, I'm open for festivals and other more bigger things, but for the moment, more like playing in bars.
And you have the band that recorded the music with you, which is not a full band.
Yeah, on stage I'm alone. Like on stage it's just me.
With
It's
the
a
playback?
one-woman show. No, just me and piano.
Piano.
It's a minimalistic version, but I like that. So
Cool. You
fine.
bring an electric piano with you?
I mean, I have my stage piano, but I prefer going to places where they already have a piano because it's just a pain in the butt to carry that.
Yeah.
Of course, if it's necessary, I do that. But that's actually the easier thing as you're playing guitar. Like you can just transport it. Like
Yeah.
you can just take it out when you're at the beach. I can't do that with my piano, you know.
Yeah, imagine. You bring your grand piano with you to the beach.
Yeah.
It's like the Bruno Mars song when he pushes the piano all the way.
Yeah, exactly.
He goes to play in her house.
Oh, nice.
And then he realized he got someone else. Yeah. Grenade, it's called, yeah?
Grenade, yeah.
Da-da, touch a grenade
Grenade for you.
He's a genius,
Would
Bruno Mars.
jump in front of a train for you.
I would
But you wouldn't do the same.
Yeah, she kept her eyes wide open when they kissed. That's what it says. Do you like him, Bruno Mars?
He's not my favorite, but he does really good songs. I mean, he's a good songwriter. He's a good pop musician. Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, he got this project that he did recently with Anderson .Paak. It's
Yeah.
called Silk Sonic.
Okay.
Have you heard it?
No, I haven't.
They made it so cool. They took the vibe of the 70s,
Oh,
this Motown funky sound with the muted drums, it's really, really cool. And they made a
Nice.
full album like that.
cool.
It's so refreshing.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, and there is also this guy, his name is Serbian, I think. Serbian something, and he's one of the biggest mix engineers today. He's mixing all the big songs,
Okay.
and he mixed the whole album, and it just sounds phenomenal.
Wow.
Yeah, this is what I like about when you have all those legends working together to give you this incredible piece of music.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying to me.
It is very satisfying. And you also see that it's a group work.
Yeah,
Like, we always want to believe that we can do everything on our own, but it's not true. And
It's
it
not
also
possible.
shouldn't be like that.
yeah,
Like, it's the pleasure comes from the teamwork.
yeah. And how much can you do by yourself? There is a
Yeah.
limit how much you can
There's a limit.
provide.
Yeah.
And when someone else comes, then it can be very,
Very
very
good.
interesting.
Yeah.
You have one note, which is you, and then you bring another person, then you create harmony.
Exactly.
And if you bring more people, so you have more notes, and then the amount of harmonies that can be created is infinite,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
But it's not really harmony as music. It's more like how everything comes together as
Yeah.
as a whole package. Is it something that you also think about how you brand yourself?
How I brand myself.
Yeah, you seem very aware that everything needs to be good. So the sound of the song, the way it's been mixed, needs to be good and good to digest it, and also video clip. It needs to be to complement the song itself, but it also needs to be filmed very well with high quality.
Yeah. I mean, last year I did a workshop at this pop festival at the Kulturbrauerei. I was invited, and I was lucky to just do some workshops on branding and
As a participate.
as a participant. And that was really interesting because it's actually, if you put some effort into this and think about what you like, you see yourself as a brand. Like your music, yourself, you're like a brand. So this is also actually, I like it because, for example, in social media, I don't say it's me as my brand. Like it's me as a musician person. It's not me as my private person. So I can also just distinguish better, which is nice for me. But it's very important for the audience that you have a clear image. Like, what do people relate to? What do they expect from you? What colors do you show? What do you sing about? Like, having like a clear statement makes it so much easier for people to say I relate to you or not. So I took lots of information from this workshop and I tried to implement it. Yeah.
You seem very aware of this.
Yeah.
And usually musicians are not so aware of the business side.
I have never been. I have never been, really. But there just came a time that I thought, I mean, people also told me it's necessary, like doing the business stuff. Like, even, you wouldn't believe me, but like Instagram, like it's a bit more than a year ago that I started Instagram and I never had that. Like, I was like, what the, leave me alone with that. Like, I don't want to do that. Like,
what was so scary about it?
Because like I already, like, I tried to not be at the screen as much as possible. Already that. So spending more time in front of the screen is not my favorite thing. And then just this idea of like, yeah, branding myself or like show myself, like doing promotion. I didn't feel comfortable doing that until the moment I understood that if you want to like be successful in a sense, or if you want to find new people, it's completely reasonable doing that. And not just reasonable, but it's clever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you take into consideration that you have like 2 billion people who are using this platform of Instagram, Facebook, and people are using it on daily basis. I use it on daily basis, and I connect with people through there. And some people send me messages on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Instagram, sometimes even emails, and they want to be part of the podcast.
Nice.
Or if it's my photography business, so they just contact somehow. But it's my job to reach them and to let them know, hey, I'm here, I exist, and you can come and have a good time with me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a bit tricky if you have the mindset of social media is bad.
Yeah.
And it is bad, definitely. There is some evil stuff that social media are doing, and I think it's individuals' responsibility to know when is the limit and just to stop when it's too much, and just to be honest with ourselves when we know we're getting sucked into that.
Exactly. So you have to keep the control over it. Like right now, I put my time into social media, and the next hour I do something else and I shut it down or whatever. Like, to have this control over it. And I also think like the whole internet and social media was growing so much faster. So our society was not able to, how do you say, like,
to adapt.
Mm-hmm. So that nowadays, like especially like kids and teenagers, they don't have control. There's also no education about it or what it does with you and how you should use it. So I really hope that this will change in the future.
Maybe
Hopefully. Not. Hopefully.
Yeah, to think how everything goes, it just seems that we go into even faster phase kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because everything gets faster. The information is just being transferred way more faster than it used to be.
Yeah.
So let's say really 500 years ago, if I want to tell you something and you're far away, I don't know how much the doves or the pigeons were effective. Uh, but maybe I can send someone with a horse, and then it can give you the letter after I don't know how long. But it will be very expensive to send someone with a horse. It must be very important.
Yeah.
But then we got better with communications. We had the chariot, what it's called.
Yeah,
When we can put a lot of letters on one horse, and then it brings everything. And then we have the internet, like slowly. Like we had cars, and now we have the internet, so I can just text you, and you get it instantly. And
it's insane, yeah.
I believe that we will reach in our lifetime. Hopefully, we're gonna live until 120 years old. We're gonna see in our lifetime that we use our brain to communicate. We don't really need to use our mouth.
Yeah.
And we don't really need to use our voices to communicate. And there are already technologies. They are not really functional so much, but they exist in a very early stage. There is the Elon Musk Neuralinks company. You know this?
No, but it's scary hearing that. Yeah.
Elon Musk is kind of an alien.
He is an alien. He must be an alien, I'm sure.
Yeah, he created this kind of a product. It's a device that you put it in your brain, and it comes to replace the computer mouse. So with this in your head,
Jesus.
yeah, you can move the computer mouse, basically. And
Jesus.
yeah, the idea is to help people with the disabilities, so they can also function. But of course, that it will go out of the people with disabilities when it will become more efficient and more cheaper.
Yeah.
And also with AI, it's also very interesting. I've been experimenting a lot with the images generation AI, and you just write some text, and it can generate you crazy photos.
Yeah.
And it can generate some emotions, because I can write some emotions, or I tried it with the lines from my lyrics. And lyrics can be very abstract sometimes. And I just put it and I see what will come up, what kind of image it can generate.
Yeah.
And I believe really in the next 5 years, we will have text to video. So we will be able to make a video just by writing text. We will be able, today, I'm able to basically take all this podcast, I can turn it into text, and then I can take this text and make someone else read it. Basically, it's available today that I take samples from my voice and from your voice, and I can switch the voice. So I will speak with your voice, and you will answer with my voice.
It's so weird.
So it sounds like we switch the roles in the podcast.
That's
it's possible.
So weird.
But it's also good because I can also take the podcast and I can translate to a different language from AI, with AI. So all of a sudden we can speak fluent Spanish. And the whole podcast becomes Spanish podcast.
See?
Yeah. And if I do that without even clicking with my finger on a device, I just do it with my thought power. This is really insane.
It's insane. It scares me. It scares me.
Yeah, it makes the communication very difficult.
Yeah.
There is also this theory that I believe that pornography will bring a lot of this technology forth. So it will make a lot of improvement, because it's military or pornography that brings a lot of improvement, because most of the money flow there.
Yeah.
And once we let AI take care of our sexual urges and needs, then we don't really would need them as biological kind of urge or something like this. We can reproduce, but we don't even need to think if we are male or female. Like 2 males can have a baby, or 2 females can have a baby. And I think slowly we're going to get rid of our sexual genitals and our sexual hormones. And we'll become like those aliens, which, they have big brains.
Oh no.
Maybe the aliens are humans from the future, and they come to Earth to warn us.
I just hide in the mountains and let everything happen around me. I don't give a shit. No.
There are many funny theories about it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really insane. I don't think we had such a powerful tool as AI before. This is really crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, with the ChatGPT, for example, it's able to do miracles. You can take a text that you don't really want to read. You just copy paste it there, and then you tell it which character do you like, for example. some character that you would enjoy reading from them. It can be some celebrity, I don't know.
Like a celebrity.
Yeah, a celebrity or even a character from a fictional
Like
book.
Mickey Mouse or what?
Yeah, for example, you can take this, you can copy it, paste it into ChatGPT, and then you can say, write it down in style of Mickey Mouse. And I think you can also do it, talk to me as Mickey Mouse and read the text as Mickey Mouse. And then for you, you can have the information way better in your head when you have someone that you have affection towards that reads it to you. It can make way more sense.
Wow, that sounds so weird.
Yeah. And if you take really complex subject like quantum physics and then you ask AI to explain it to you as Mickey Mouse, I mean, for sure you're gonna understand something.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Where this all will go.
Shall we finish with this note?
Let's finish with that note.
Let's finish. All right. So how people can find you and your music?
Everywhere online. All the platforms, like all the music platforms, Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon and Tidal and whatever. And of course, like on Facebook and Instagram, as I just said, like this is the platform I use now. So yeah, you can just find me online.
Yes, write down Karoline Kaminski.
Yes.
This is the name behind the music. It was really great pleasure talking to you.
It was so much fun. Thank you.
Yes, you have crazy energy. I really enjoy that. You're very vibrant.
Thank you. It was really nice.
Thank you, people, for listening. Give her a like, follow her on Spotify, make like for all the songs, Instagram, everything. It's really worth it. Check the new video clip that will come out. And have a beautiful week.
Sound of the Pigeon Podcast. Sound of the Pigeon Podcast.
Sound of the Pigeon Podcast.
So empty, so used for passion and love. How can I always fall for the same? Do I even know my name? Is it wrong to have fun with anyone? Is it wrong to love without love? I guess it's not okay, because I feel so ashamed, and there's nothing I can do. I feel so used for things I like, but they aren't real. I would like to get real love to feel. Isn't it great to break through? Don't shout it aloud. Tell me what's that chaos all about? Could I change my habits? I really would do, but I always fall in love again with you. My love's not real, it's a lie, not true. Could I change, begin something new? Tell me, when will I find true love? And tell me when my life will start. I hate this unreal and bad part. And one day I'll be happy and confident. But I feel so used for things I like, but they are real. I would like to get real love to feel. Isn't it great to break through and shout it aloud? Tell me, what's that chaos all about? Could I change my habits? I really would too, but I always fall in love again with you. My love looking at life through the eyes of her tired heart. Eating seeds as a pastime activity. The toxicity of our city, of our city. And now, how do you on the world? How do you on disorder? Disorder. Now, somewhere between the sacred silence and sleep. Somewhere between the sacred silence and sleep. Disorder, disorder, disorder. More wood for the fires, loud neighbors. Flashlight reveries caught in the headlights of a truck. Eating seeds as a pastime activity. The toxicity of our city, of our city. And now, what do you on the world? How do you on disorder, disorder? Now, somewhere between the sacred silence and sleep. Somewhere between the sacred silence and sleep. Disorder, disorder, disorder. When I became the sun, I shone life into the man's heart. When I became the sun, I shone life into the man's